Is everybody good? Thumbs up.
All right, let's start the
Your host,
theme.
Steve Scott
Carlos.
and Carlos Martinez.
How's everybody doing? How's everybody doing?
Everybody's great. Awesome. So we got a lot of ground to cover today, guys. We're going to start with a quick light video clip to bring those smiles on this Tuesday morning. So let's roll with that. Let's roll with that.
Now there's an Instagram account. It's called Tinder Nightmares, where people post text conversations from Tinder that did not go so great. And these are a few that I found. Let's see the first one. It says, I do not know you very well, but I am down for a pizza, that ass. Clever. See the next one? Are you made of part aluminum? No. Oh, I say that because you've got some killer cans. Oh my God. See the next one? I'm a married man looking for kinky sex and good conversation. You interested? Please tell me you're joking. I'm joking about the conversation part. Do we have time for one more, Andy? Okay.
Oh, no, we do.
Are you sure?
Yeah, we can do one more.
Well, you said no at first. What made you change your mind?
We're good. Go one more.
But did I waste time by asking you if we have time? I feel like we don't have time now because Oh, you're sure?
We're good. Let's do it now.
All right, Andy. You're so good on camera. It says, hi there. Girl, did you just fall from heaven? Because you look like you've been in a horrible accident. Well, it looked like it was going took a turn. It was a different way. To see more, go to Tinder Nightmares.
All righty.
Okay then. Boy, I'll tell you what, thank God I'm not single. I couldn't handle all that. That is just craziness. So, Rick, do you have something you want to share with everybody real quick? Something very exciting, a big fashion statement we can all make.
Yeah, so just to show you what we've been working on, and special thanks to Summer, neighbor in the Ridgefield Market Center has been working on this, and we're excited to show you your brand new, available for order later today. Whoops. Ready for order. Oh, Christmas. Hold on. I know we don't have time for me not to be prepared. Hey, can we go to Tammy, please?
Yeah, sure. Tammy, you with us? There you are. I see your smiling face.
Happy Tuesday. Jeannie has inspired me to wear lipstick on Zoom calls if she's here. I'm inspired. So, anyway, you guys, I've been hearing all about this mass influx into Fairfield County because people are trying to get out of the city. So I wanted to talk today about second homes. The minimum down payment on a second home is 10%, and they can get the pretty interest rates. So it's not the same interest rate as it would be for an investor, but they could put 10% down and buy a second home. So if they have got that house in Manhattan and they want to get away from the city, then they could buy a home here in the country and it would be considered a second home, minimum payment, 10% down, and you get the pretty interest rates. So that's my Mortgage Minute.
Awesome.
Happy Tuesday.
Thanks, Tammy. Have a great day.
And so I am now ready. Sorry about that, guys. And so here, introducing your brand new, KW masks.
Wow.
You have two different versions. You have this one, or you have this one. This one, or this one, Or both. You can do both.
So Rick, tell us, how much do they cost and when can we order them?
So they're $10 a piece, and we're going to put together a large mass order. They're actually a bunch more than that, but we're assuming that we can get a large group order together, which reduces the price down to only $10 a piece from a custom vendor that Summer found. Production time is, I think, about 10 days for us to get them shipped here and get them to you. So we're excited. So if you're looking for another fashion statement to return to the office with, there it is. So we'll get some information out later on today via email to get your orders in if you so choose.
Awesome. So now the moment you've all been waiting for, our agent spotlight today. We are thrilled to have Amy Mosley from the Ridgefield Market Center with us. Amy, are you here? Where are you? Let me see. Let's get you unmuted. There you go. How are you, Amy?
I'm well, and you?
I'm great. I am great. So we have so much to talk about, but we have limited time. So I want you to share with us your background. What brought you to real estate, what brought you to KW, and then we'll talk about what's happening in your world right now.
Well, I spent 16 years in corporate America in high-level sales and brand marketing with both Kraft General Foods and Frito-Lay. So that was the start of my career as soon as I got out of college. And then I went through a pretty bad divorce and cancer all at the same time, and decided that I couldn't continue to, do the stress of corporate America and travel all over the country. So I moved my kids from Omaha to Ridgefield and started all over again and tried to figure out what I could do that leveraged my skill sets but kept me local, and so I could be a mom to my all my many kids. So that's how I ended up in real estate.
Cool. So, and then how did your path bring you to KW?
I was a Coldwell banker for 6 years, and then Dan started knocking on my door. And after many conversations with him and a lot of time spent, I finally decided it was a no-brainer. So I switched last February, right before family reunion, and then went to family reunion and have loved it ever since.
Yeah, I remember you were sitting in front of me at family reunion, that first family reunion. I was like, I could tell you were jumping up and down with excitement. You thought it was so cool.
I tell everyone, I now question what took me so long.
Yeah, right.
I should have made this move ages ago.
That's what most people say. It's very true. Well, Thank you for being with us today. So let's talk about now. I mean, the whole world has shifted and pivoted, and you have not slowed down. I don't think your business has slowed down one iota. And to talk about that and how you've pivoted what you're doing right now.
Well, and if I'm being completely honest, I'm a little bit embarrassed, but when I was making the transition from Coldwell Banker to Keller Williams, that in its own right is a huge shift and a pivot, and it's also very overwhelming. So I was so far behind, I felt I hadn't touched command. So I've really taken this opportunity during this time, which I call the great pause. And I'm very grateful for the great pause for so many reasons. I have 4 of my 6 kids home right now, so that is a huge gift.
Sure.
But I have really dove deep into command and realizing all of its capabilities. I feel like I've just scratched the surface, but I probably work in command probably 3 hours every day. I had to get everything transferred from market leader over to command, and it didn't happen in the first try. It happened on the second try. So, and in the interim, I was running Facebook and Instagram ads, and so I was pulling leads in, and I had to export those to import the other stuff. I mean, it was just it's been a nightmare in some respects.
Yeah.
But
you've done it. Yeah. I mean, and I bow to you. I mean, 3 hours a day working on command. Oh my God, that's incredible. That's incredible.
Well, what I told Dan was, what's interesting is, as I'm touching my database, not only just with care calls, but I have a lot of people in my database that I don't necessarily have a relationship with, and just touching my database and getting reacquainted with it, I'm learning a lot about my database and who my potential clients are, who's my tribe. I feel like almost everybody in my database is my tribe, because I'm also taking the opportunity to make my health score better. So I'm putting I'm looking up all their phone numbers. I'm, making sure I have all their addresses. I'm going through, white pages. And so I'm doing that. And then at the same time, I've built all the smart plans. So I'm putting them on smart plans at the same time that I'm improving the health of my database. So, so it's been interesting to say the least.
Yeah, no, that's great. That's invaluable time, and it's gonna just propel your business forward from this point on, even more so. That's great. So tell us about Lead Accelerator and Facebook ads. What kind of results have you had? I know you've had some great results.
So I've only been running them for probably the last 3 weeks, and as of this morning, I had 155 leads in my bucket.
Can you say that again? Say that one more time.
I've been running ads for 3 weeks. I do probably about 4 ads a week on my listings primarily. And I have 155 leads right now in my system. Wow. Just from the ads. And I actually wrote them down. I'm averaging. So I've been doing some test marketing on my own. Is it really the 10-day mark, or is 12 days, what kind of results I get at 12 days kind of thing?
Right.
So my best ad so far was run for 12 days, $30, 24 leads at $1.25 a piece.
That's incredible. That's great. That's great.
And then all the rest of them, $1.82, $1.25, $1.88. And then my highest was $2.14. And that was because I did, I tested Instagram versus Facebook instead of doing both. Okay. And all of those, there was 14 leads and they came from Instagram, but they cost me more.
Right. Interesting.
So, and just kind of trying to figure out what works.
Yep.
Best.
Yep. Yeah. Yep. Now you're putting all those people on, smart plans and
yes. So what I'm finding is they're hard to, it's hard to reach them via phone, even though I try. And then I immediately put them on a smart plan, followed up by a bi-monthly nurture, neighborhood nurture. So I'm plugging in their neighborhoods, maybe 3 neighborhoods around the lead that they clicked on.
Right.
And then I'm doing a text and a phone call smart plan, immediately. As soon as they come in, I get the notification on Kelly, and then I immediately go and put them on the smart plan, so that they get an instantaneous text back from me. And what I'm starting to notice, it like everyone says, Facebook ads take a long time to nurture, but I am starting to see people responding.
That's great.
And I'm seeing people open the neighborhood, smart plan, the neighborhood
nurture.
Yeah. And they're looking around. So, and I do believe, in the last week and a half, it's been crazy with the flurry of interest from New Yorkers. And I do believe when I'm talking to these agents, a lot of them aren't licensed in Connecticut. And so I'm asking them, well, how did your clients, come to find the house if you're not even on the MLS here? She goes, oh, well, they say they saw an ad.
Wow.
And I have to believe that's my ad, and then they're calling their agent, right? So I think we have results from those ads far beyond what we can really measure.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm telling you, that's where it's at, guys. And if you're not doing this already, if you're not attempting to, don't be afraid to dive into it like Amy did. She found the time now and she's doing it. We're going to be having a big emphasis on these Facebook ads over the next couple of weeks with classes and panels. It is imperative, guys, that you jump on and get this done. Think about the wave coming out of New York and what Amy is experiencing. And there could be hundreds of thousands, who knows how many people, who are experiencing this mind shift about maybe moving to the suburbs. So it's a great opportunity to do it. And I want to ask you one more thing, Amy, before we run out of time. Tell me about your sight unseen listing that you sold and what happened with that, because I know you just blew it out of the water.
I got a random phone call from a woman in North Carolina. She has a home in Danbury, and her parents had passed away, and 4 siblings were involved in this and getting the house ready and on the market. And the executor, who lived in Danbury, wanted to go with another agent, and I came in out of left field at the last minute, the 9th inning, and they weren't technologically savvy, so I tried to get them on a Zoom, but I could get 2 of the 4 and stuff like that. So anyway, I convinced the executor to hire me instead. The original agent that she was working with was a personal friend who wanted to list their house for $367,000. I put it on for $469,000 after we fully staged the property, transformed it, made it look awesome. My photographer did an amazing job as well. And in 15 days, we have it under agreement at almost very close to asking. And they are absolutely blown away.
Wow. That is
and I've never walked in the house. I've never personally met any of these people.
Wow. Good for you. That's incredible. That's amazing how you pivoted and made that happen. Carlos, could you look real quick at the chat room? Is there anything in there right now we want to just throw it at Amy?
Well, a lot of folks are asking, what type of Facebook ads, what's your verbiage like? So you're advertising your specific listing, right? Is there anything that you're doing or that you see is working on the ads in terms of verbiage or pictures or?
So I think less is more when you're running ads. I'm sending all of my ads into New York. I think I have one ad that went into Stanford, but almost all of them are going into New York just because that's where I feel like the cream of the crop is right now. And I think, just a small subtitle at the bottom, thinking of moving or, something. And then in the text above, making sure you have a call to action. So I'm directing them, click learn more for information and price. So I don't give everything away in the description, but enough to entice them. And then I always do carousel ads, not a single picture. And if I have a video, sometimes I'll do a video ad as well. But I find that I get much better results on carousel ads. And of course you put your power shots forward, all their attention.
Thank you so much. And the last one was, is there a specific smart plan that you use, or did you create your own, or how did you go about that?
I've primarily created my own, just because I feel like, I want to create my own voice. It's taken me, some trials and errors and, trying to figure out what that really looks like and sounds like. But then the ones that are in the library, like for the bi-monthly and the monthly, I just use those. I just customize them a little bit, but yeah.
Great.
I think that's the beauty of the system, right? It allows you the flexibility and the creativity to do some unique things. And,
totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I'm totally impressed. And I just say one thing before we part, because I think we're done. I just want to remind everybody, this is my favorite saying, but just in this time, it's just been really challenging in a lot of different ways. But I believe that this is a setback that is creating a setup for your great comeback, right? And that's awesome. You have to look at things as there's a reason this has happened, but there's a silver lining in everything, as Rick talks about all the time. And we may not see all the silver lining until we're well beyond this, but just keep plugging away, keep putting one foot in front of the other, and just believe that everything you're doing during this time is setting you up for a great comeback.
That's great. Thanks for sharing all that, Amy. Seriously, and for those words of inspiration. Appreciate that very, very much.
You're welcome.
Where are we, Adonis? What do we got with Marty today?
That was awesome, Amy. We can see your passion. Thank you for sharing.
You're welcome.
With Marty today, we're going to continue with designs. He's going to continue introducing us to designs and how we partnered with WeBrand. So you can see how to add images, text, logos, icons, and listing info specific from KWLS.
Good afternoon, Keller Williams, and welcome back to the KW Command 66-Day Challenge 3.0, day 37. So yesterday we started our series on designs, or the design submenu applet, and then we're going to continue that today. Yesterday we talked about the basics of designs. Today we're going to talk to you about the basics of WeBrand, and WeBrand is the basically graphic editor that's within designs that we utilize to create these assets and documents. So let's dive in. We're just going to do a test social design. I'm just going to choose kind of a random one. We're not actually going to go through the entire creation process. I'm just going to kind of show you what the WeBrand editor kind of can do. So we're just going to choose an agent site, Facebook, and let's just use this first one. That way I can introduce you to some of the things that WeBrand has in their menu section. So Let's start here on the left-hand side. I'm going to walk through these three things, and then as we continue through the videos, we'll walk through these buttons, and these buttons, in addition to some of these items down below. But to start, we're going to start here on the left-hand side. So the first menu we have here in WeBrand is images. You can see we have three options. We have My Library, we have Company, and we have Add. So if I click on Add, you'll see I have the ability to add images from my Facebook page, from my Facebook business pages, and this is more, I guess, Facebook profile, Facebook business pages, my Instagram account, Google Drive, Dropbox, or I can actually click here and then get into my File Explorer, depending on which computer style I have, and start pulling documents from there. So, excuse me, or images. So let's just say Facebook, and typically it's going to say, do you give, and I believe it's Designer is the name of the company or the name of the app, Designer, I believe. And it'll say Designer wants permission to access your Facebook account. And once you approve that, then you'll see it's going to start allowing you to pull in photos from your photo albums here on Facebook. If I choose Facebook Pages, it's going to do the same thing. Here we go. So you previously linked Designer to Facebook. Would you like to continue? I'm going to say yes. Otherwise, it may just ask you to let Designer link. So on my Facebook page, I could bring in here, here's one of my property logos, or my team logos, excuse me. Instagram, same exact thing. Google Drive, same exact thing. So you have the ability to pull in images from any of these sources, and you'll see those imported images down below here. The second option that you have is to utilize images that the company has already provided for us. So you can see I can click on this folder of KW stock images, and I can see an entire series of kind of home-based, family-based, etc. images that I have the ability to use in any of my assets or graphics or content that I'm creating in the future. So an entire series there that I would be able to use if I were to select one of those. My library, I have the ability to build out my own library of images that I use very regularly. So obviously your headshot is an image you're probably going to use very regularly. Your Market Center DBA logo is one that you would use very regularly. In order to add to your library, you're just going to come down here and click on Add to Library. And then you're going to see, all right, so we want to add to your images section. And I'm not sure why this background, oh, it's taking a while here to load. But typically you're going to have the opportunity to select 4 images and then 4 backgrounds as well. Once you get in here, you also have the ability to create some logos and save those in your library. You can do a branding kit where you select specific colors. Text, you can choose specific fonts that you like to use. So there's a lot of availability to do customization within the library. Looks like that's giving us a touch of trouble right now, and yet that's how you would add those images or graphics to your library. If you wanted to add text to your graphic, you would come over here and click on text, and you can see you have the ability to add a title, subtitle, body text, text block. If you click on banners, you get into some of those kind of fun stuff that you may see in like programs like Canva, etc., where you could just drag these over if you like the way that they look, and kind of drop those somewhere in your graphic and then change the text later on. You have the ability to bring in company text, so things like the ownership statement, you could click on that, and there it is, already written completely correct, spelled correctly, written as it should be written as well. And then you can click on My Library, and then you see obviously a lot of information that's been pulled over from my, I think it's my command profile actually. So my team name, phone number, this is actually my full bio, my email in a couple different formats, name, and then the address of my market center as well. Next, you can come over to icons, and similar to images, you have the ability to add icons if you wanted to. You have some stock ones here, so if you wanted to add in some stock images, you know, just kind of some fun stuff there, you can look through. Company icons, so here is cell phone, regular phone, you know, just if you wanted to do your World Wide Web address, here would be your regular address, your email, you know, you have those availability, and then you can come into My Library, and again, let's see if second time's the charm. Nope, oh, getting a little bit closer. I don't know why it's still transparent, and yet you could come in and add logos by clicking on any one of these plus signs or click an icon. Once I click on the plus, it's going to say where is the icon you want to add, and then that icon would be saved here under my library right here anytime you came into the icons section. Finally, you have the logo. So you have the ability, again, to add logos to your library, or you can click on company and you can see there are a variety of logos here. Now, just be careful if you're putting a logo in your design, you want to make sure that you are operating under the marketing guidelines of your state's real estate commission. So for us, it's TREC. TREC says I can't just have Keller Williams. I actually have to have a DBA logo that has my actual KW Platinum or whichever logo, whichever brokerage my license hangs at. So just be careful there. You can see there's some labs logos in here. KW DBA, right? You're never going to just put DBA. And then you have some miscellaneous logos for the Association of Realtors. I think this one is just a, National Association of Realtors, but it's PNG format. So you can kind of see if you had a red background, it would show through, however you wanted that to happen. So same thing with my library. We talked about that. And then finally, you have KWLS. So you could come in here and actually search for a listing. Oops. And it's going to search the KWLS system to see if it can find that actual listing. It looks like that may not be working quite. It's just giving me fits this morning. Well, we'll get that corrected here. I'll report that to labs as well and find out. But typically, you'd be able to search for a KW listing. It would search KWLS 2.0. I know we're doing some transition right now with regards to the feed, so that may be the issue there. You can also do snapshots. So I could search for a market snapshot. Let's just see if that is working. Fawn Lake. There we go. Fawn Lake, Pine Lakes. And here is a market snapshot of the neighborhood that I live in. And I could drop this information into a graphic if I wanted to. So it tells you the average price point, how many active listings, how many pending listings, the average days on market, and the average price per square foot. And then it has a little map here of the actual Fawn Lake, Pine Lake neighborhood. So where your neighborhood is in regards to a map of that neighborhood. So there you have the different things that you can have brought in from these submenus, different images brought in. You could have different text styles and banners brought in, icons, logos, and information from neighborhood snapshots. And very soon, I'm sure we'll get this fixed, information from your actual listing being brought in. And then you could actually add the photos or the description, bedroom, bathroom count, all that kind of stuff as well. So that's the very beginning of the WeBrand editor, kind of a first step in the buttons and menus that are available. Obviously, this is a very powerful system. So tomorrow we'll start working and playing with creating some graphics, and I'll show you some tips and tricks that we can utilize in this area as well with regards to colors and then kind of organization of layers as well. So look forward to that tomorrow. I will look forward to speaking with you then. Thanks, guys. Have a good night.
Well, Marty pretty much told us what he's going to do tomorrow. More rebrand menu items and designs. So we're just going to continue playing with designs. So I hope you have a good day today, and we will see you next time.